Lawn bowling is more than just a game. There's no talking on the green.
Genuine 1972 prices.
And nothing this soft. Stick it right up.
From the wide outdoors to the great indoors. Welcome to Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to Without Bias on SEN. Julian Marcus with you for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. And Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. On this week's program, we'll be speaking with Barrie Lester, who's a right-at-home Jackaroo. He is an Apia ambassador, and he'll be in commentary at the Australian Indoor Championships this week at Club Tweed. We'll check in with our right-at-home Player of the Week, improving the quality of life for those we serve, Jake Fehlberg, who is a Para Jackaroo who'll be a part of the World Championships later this month. And he just took out the vision-impaired pairs at the Queensland Multi-Disability Championships. So we start this week with Barrie Lester, who's brought to us by Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. He's a right-at-home Jackaroo, and he'll be in commentary at the Australian Indoor Championships this week. Barrie, welcome to SEN.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
So tell us about what you'll be doing in Club Tweed this week.
Yeah, the Australian Indoor Championship at Club Tweed is arguably one of the most prestigious events, especially on the singles calendar in the world, and some of the biggest names and best players from around Australia all gather in the men's and women's disciplines to try and walk away with a very prestigious title. It's been going for around about 30 years now, and with such a rich history and all the big names that have played in the event, I know a lot of players will be walking away knowing that they've tried their best, but only can be one male winner and one female winner.
Give us a bit more background on the Indoor Championships. It's a major tournament on the national calendar, yet it may seem as one that doesn't get the recognition that it probably deserves.
Yeah, well, with close to 2,000 bowls clubs around Australia, majority of them are outdoor. And so another great element to bowls now is, especially with Tweed Heads, their indoors being around for just over 30 years. It's a really good challenge for a lot of bowlers to try their hand on the carpet and on the indoor facility. So, and with the players having to qualify from all around Australia in their respective states and territories, they've probably had to either qualify from an outdoor perspective or out of season. So Victoria, majority play across the summer, and some states don't really play a lot in the winter. So from that challenge perspective, it's really good. And then you've got the great prize money as well that's always put up. But it's just been such a really strong traditional event. But I think with the indoor coming along this time of year, it's really good to show that a lot of players can both play indoor and outdoor. And when you look at a guy like Aaron Sheriff, who won it last year, he proves that in his legacy as such a great lawn bowler that he can win indoor, outdoor in all the conditions.
Tell us about the format. It's sets play predominantly. It's an interesting format, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We're not playing a lot of sets play at the moment. It was sort of a bit of a popular thing more so in the early 2000s, but with the World Championships, Commonwealth Games, they're playing the more traditional 21 up format. But sets play is once again just that another element to that challenge where you have to really show how versatile you are on a different surface on the indoor, and then go to sets play. So they play 2 sets of 9 ends, and the highest score of each set will win the set. And if it's 1 set each, they go to a 3-end shootout, and then that high score will win that game. So you'll see a lot of games go down to a tie break. It's hard to sustain that consistency across those 2 sets and win two straight sets to nil. But a lot of players that maybe win 1 set might bow out of the tiebreaker, which is a bit disappointing. But it just goes to show it's never over, and if you're alive in the tiebreak, you can still get it done.
And there's a lot on offer for the winners of this tournament. An opportunity for a world title awaits. How does that work?
Yeah, so the world title, it's usually played down at Warilla, and it's a massive event as well. All the countries get together and they put forward their singles representative. So if you're a club-based player that, let's say, plays out in Gippsland, Victoria, and you qualify for the Australian Indoor and then go all the way to winning it, you then go on to represent Australia at the World Championship and then vie for a world title. So it is really a great event for that. And that's where it starts. At club level, just trying to qualify. You can be a beginner or experienced player. You work you all the way up to Tweed Heads. And if you walk away with the win there, you never know, you could walk away with a world title the following year against some of the world's best. So that's where this event really has all the boxes ticked.
Speaking with Barrie Lester here on Without Bias, ahead of the Australian Indoor Championships this week at Club Tweed. For yourself on the green this year, Baz, you've got a AO Falls title to your name. Tell us about how that tournament went for you and how ecstatic you were to clinch another trophy on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's been a really good year personally. Probably the big one was as well as winning the gold medal in the multi-nations. That was just any time you can win a gold and sing the national anthem, it's a great experience and a great honour. And to back it up not long after that with the Australian Open Fours title was huge, because I won it with three really good mates, and when we got knocked out of the semi-final last year, and we said, let's do it, let's go one further, make the final and see what happens. And to come away with that win is huge. And for me, the Australian Open titles are the hardest titles to win in the world. Across 2 weeks, 14 different venues, multiple disciplines, multiple conditions. The Australian Open is probably the most fun and also the hardest to win. And yeah, it's the best carnival of bowls in the world with over 3,000 participants, great prize money, and of course the Gold Coast, great green. So yeah, really wrapped to walk away with the Australian Open Fours title. The first time I'd won that one after finishing runner-up a couple of times, which it makes it just that little bit sweeter.
As the confidence level after that, you've got a few big national events to come for the remainder of the year. What's ahead for you?
Yeah, I just looked at, I've got a huge big calendar at home. I sort of live in that calendar as an athlete. Yeah, we sort of know our every move the next sort of 6 months. And yeah, the Nationals are coming up over in Perth, so I get to represent Queensland there. We won that last year at Broadbeach, so we'll be trying to go back-to-back, the Queensland men. That's one of my favourite tournaments, the Alley Shield. All the states and territories put up their best 12 men and women, and we vie for the Alley Shield title, so that'll be a big one. And then you've got BPL in November, the Bowls Premier League at Pine Rivers. It's on TV, it's on Fox Sports, it's all over. It's all over the Bowls Australia media, and what I really love about the BPL is we get a few celebrities either tweeting or get on their social saying absolutely loving the Bowls Premier League action, sitting at home watching tonight. So it's a great event to be involved in, and so between now and Christmas, the calendar's jam-packed, and I can't wait to play in a few of those big national events.
You've also become an APIA ambassador. Tell us a bit about how this has come about.
Yeah, well, it's a great fit. APIA with their real strong focus on retirees and looking after them. I'm very fortunate. I've got a great management team around me and supporter base. So, yeah, we've worked closely with APIA and being involved in the Australian Jackaroo squad for quite a while. It's great to work with our stakeholders. So to get out there and do a bit of work within the community and really promote the messages of what people are doing at Clubland. So we've got Local Legends initiative, and we've really got some great stuff happening out there just to make some good focus areas on volunteers, and that's another huge component. We've spoken a lot about events and what I'm playing in and so on, but we out there, not only in the sport of lawn bowls, but in sports in general, we rely heavily on volunteers. And so the more we can really thank them and identify what they're doing as local legends, the better, and APIA are doing a great job in that space.
So what do you have for the remainder of this year in that role? Have you got any major initiatives coming up?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff in the local legend space, especially at the Australian Indoor this week. We did a really good segment at the Australian Open where we went around just asking players and supporters what they like to do in their spare time and downtime. So it's just good to be able to be really community focused and get out there and share the messaging that you might not want to actually play lawn bowls itself, but if you are, you can also interact with members and make new friends and be very social at a bowls club in that volunteer space.
And last one before I let you go, you're going to be in commentary this week at Club Tweed for the Indoor Championships. Tell us about how this has come about.
Yeah, I've always had a real love for doing a bit of commentary work. I'm a bowls fanatic. I love studying the game. I love studying other sports as well, and I love getting on the microphone to give the people, the supporters, and the spectators and the viewers at home as much insight to the game as possible. So I try to go as in-depth as I can, from, angles and distances and to conditions, and it's a really good opportunity for me to share my knowledge about the sport, what the players are feeling, the mental side, the physical side, the preparation, all that. So I love to commentate, and I'm very fortunate that Bowls Australia have given me that role this week at the Australian Indoor, and can't wait to get out there and commentate some of the world's best players in action.
What are you most looking forward to this week?
I think Aaron Shearer for me, potential back-to-back. That's going to be huge. Anytime a player can go back-to-back in some of these really, really hard events. And also just seeing some new talent on board. Each year the Australian Indoor just seems to showcase a new name. A name that comes to mind was a few years ago, Robert Briglia came out of nowhere in Victoria and won the Australian Indoor Singles and then went on, like I said, to represent Australia at the World Cup. So just seeing some new faces and some new talents on show and seeing how they can match it with some of the best.
Wish you all the best for this weekend and the rest of the year and what lies ahead. Thanks for joining us here on Without Bias.
Thank you.
Barrie Lester joining us for APIA, the go-to insurance for retirees, called 135050. Get set, go. We'll be back with more in a moment. Welcome back to Without Bias for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A Bowls Green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me, and APIA, the go-to insurance for retirees, called 135050. Get set, go. It's time to feature our Right at Home Player of the Week. The Right Care, Right at Home. And it's Jake Fehlberg, a Right at Home Para Jackaroo, the winner of the vision impaired pairs at the Queensland Multi-Disability Championships. And he's playing at the World Champs at the end of the month. Jake, welcome to SEN.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So congratulations on your title at the Queensland Multi-Disability Championships. How much confidence does that give you heading into the Worlds?
It's good coming off a similar pairs event because we played 3-bowl pairs, which is the same sort of format as we do in the World. So knowing that I played well in that event to then go into Worlds is, very good.
Your brother Cody's taken over from your father Grant as your director. Talk to us about the dynamic between the two of you and how that transition has been.
I think the transition's worked quite well. He's taken over probably 10 months ago, so not quite a year, and we'd already played a lot of bowls together, so there was just a few little things that had changed from being at the other end, telling me what to do, to being at the same end, and I think we're working quite well together.
In a massive moment for you in your career, you've been selected for the World Bowls Championships at the end of the month. Congratulations on that. How does it feel to be a part of the first vision impaired competition at the world title?
I'm really looking forward to it, and it's great to see the vision impaired as well as the other disabilities included in the World Bowls. And it's such a privilege to be part of the first one, and hopefully we can come away with some good results.
For yourself to play in a sport that's as inclusive as bowls has become, how much does that mean to you personally?
Oh, it means a lot to be seeing the sport be more inclusive, and it'd just be great to see more competitors out there. Like, we just had the state championships, and it would have been great to see a few more competitors and a few more new faces. It's good to catch up with everybody that we already know, but letting people know that you can be out there and be competing it no matter what your disability or age, it's just great for the sport.
What attracted you to bowls to begin with?
I was a junior. I was a kid at my local club, and one of the coaches was trying to put together a junior squad and gathered me and my brother and a few others, and my dad was already a bowler, so it sort of made an easy transition to try and take it up myself.
And how long have you been a part of the bowls community now, and what have you seen change in the bowls community in the time that you've been a part of it?
I've been a bowler for roughly probably 18 years now. And in that time, when we first started, it was hard to we had to take time off school or work around school to try and get a game of bowls. And I think there's a lot more competitions and opportunities out there for juniors coming through, and a lot more higher level competition for people under 18 coming through, as well as even the disability aspect. It's a lot more inclusive, and I think people are a lot more aware of it now than when I first started. I'd been playing for 4 or 5 years and didn't even know about the vision impaired competition.
Tell us about your home club and how they've helped on your bowls journey.
I'm currently representing Jackaroo Bowls Club. I've been here for 2 years now, and they've been very supportive. And if I need to go away for a competition, there's always a little bit of flexibility with club championships. They're always very supportive, always wishing me well. And I even get a lot of supporters come down and watch events when I go away to competitions. So they've been great to be supporting me and my brother.
We're speaking with Jake Fehlberg. He's our Right at Home Player of the Week, the Right Care Right at Home. He's part of the Right at Home Para Jackaroos. He'll be on the green for the World Bowls Championships at the end of the month. For you, the opportunity to win World Championships gold, especially in the same place where you won the Commonwealth Games title in 2018, what would that mean to you to be able to pull that off?
Oh, it'd be an absolutely awesome feeling to try and do. Any medal or even any chance to represent your country is just absolutely awesome. But to be able to do it at the same sort of venues on the Gold Coast where I actually grew up would be, breathtaking and an absolutely amazing experience.
Going into the World Championships, how do you feel your form has been in recent times? I know you've obviously had the success at the Queensland Multi-Disability Championships, but across the year, have you been happy with your form going into Worlds?
I feel I've gone quite good across the year so far, and I'm quite confident. I had the 2 gold medals at the World Blind Bowls Championships in March, as well as Australian Open pairs win in the vision impaired in June, and then this latest win in the pairs as well, which is the event I'm playing in. So I feel like my form's on sort of the right track.
So what do the next few weeks look like for you in the final approach to the Worlds?
We have got a staging camp with Bowls Australia set up in place, so we'll get a little bit more time on the greens in camp together and a little bit of team bonding, as well as I've got some training I want to work on, a couple of things I want to work on myself as well before I go into that camp.
You'll be teaming with Jackie Hudson throughout the tournament. How much contact have the two of you had in the lead-in about tactics and how you're going to negotiate the tournament?
Me and Jackie have had quite a few games together over the last sort of 5 or 6 months after the team's been selected, and I feel like we're quite confident with what we're going to bring together as a team, and we've been in communication generally a couple of times a week just to check how each of us is going and make sure we're still on the right track.
What kind of greens are you expecting when you get to the Worlds? The Gold Coast, obviously you know it very, very well. What type of greens are you expecting?
I'm expecting the greens to be quite quick and quite free with a fair bit of turn, which would be quite similar to how the Gold Coast would run this time of the year, and all indications of the weather and everything else is still indicating that. So I think it should be quite good conditions to play in.
How much of an advantage is that for yourself and for your teammates on the Jackaroos to be able to play in your home country, in your home state, and have that local knowledge as far as the greens are concerned?
I think it's definitely an advantage that we're going to try and maximise, and we've been doing plenty of practice on the greens and plenty of communications about if we do think something's changing that we're aware of it, and I think we should be able to get some sort of advantage over the other countries.
Just finally, how exciting is this to be able to play World Championships in your home state and on the Gold Coast in front of friends and family and fellow Australians?
Oh, yeah, like I said, it's just going to be an absolutely awesome feeling to be out there in the green and gold and, in the home sort of area where I've grown up. So I'll have plenty of support there, and there'll be plenty of people that probably wouldn't have even heard of me that'll be there supporting just as part of the bowls community. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Jake, go well. We look forward to seeing how you fare in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jake Fehlberg joining us here on Without Bias, our right-at-home player of the week, improving the quality of life for those we serve. The right care, right at home. As part of the Para Jackaroos, the winner of the Vision Impaired Pairs at the Queensland Multi-Disability Championships, and he'll be part of the Jackaroo side in a couple of weeks' time actually, on the Gold Coast when everything gets underway on August the 29th. The World Bowls Championships. If you can get down to the Gold Coast and support our Right at Home Jackaroos, then make sure that you do, because they are going to be fantastic throughout the World Bowls Championships. It runs through September the 10th. 5 different clubs across the Gold Coast playing host, and we will, of course, bring you everything that we can in the run-up to the World Championships and all of the fallout as well. Our Right at Home Jackaroos certainly in the frame to bring home a lot of gold in the next few weeks. And a big thanks as well to Barrie Lester. Thanks to Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia, the go-to insurance for retirees, called 135050. Get set, go. He'll be in commentary at the Indoor Championships this week at Club Tweed. It gets underway very shortly. And, of course, you want to be a part of that. If you can get to Club Tweed, well worth going down and taking a look, because there's some fantastic bowlers that will be on display as part of the championship. So that is it for us this week. Another edition of Without Bias. We'll be back at the same time next week. And if you miss the show, you can podcast us at any time. Just go to wherever you download your favourite podcasts and search for Without Bias. It's on all the podcasting platforms. So get around the program. Tell your friends, anyone that may not be aware that we're back. We are certainly back, and we're back in a big way heading into the World Championships. My name's Julian Marcus. Thanks so much for your company this week on Without Bias, and we'll be back again at the same time next week as the World Championships draw near and our Right at Home Jackaroos continue the chase for gold.